How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Ankr and Babylon join forces to unlock the 1 trillion Bitcoin market for POS network. Ankr aims to assist Babylon in introducing and pioneering trustless Bitcoin staking protocol designed to enhance the security framework of POS networks by leveraging the robustness of Bitcoin. A unique feature of Babylon's BTC staking pool is the ability to allow Bitcoin stakers to engage in trustless restaking. This mechanism mirrors the principles of the engine layer and permits the users to generate multiple layers of yield. Ankr is tasked with the creation of liquid staking tokens, LTSs, for the Bitcoin stake through the Babylon protocol. These LTSs will be subsequently issued as POS change that are secured via Bitcoin staking framework. So add a little bit of staking. This could be positive, because everyone does cry about the energy consumption of Bitcoin. So we can move to some sort of POS solution that could help, but that's not necessarily going to happen. Gemini earn users to make full recovery in new settlement. So not much more there beyond the title, but per their unveiled plan, users will get 97% of their assets within 2 months from now. The remaining will be in the next 12 months. And they'll make payments totaling $1.8 billion in all current rates. So very positive to see that payment. Pretty much everyone's getting paid in full. So very good for any Gemini earn people who were affected. Over on the dollar index for the daily, we are continuing forward. So we are defying that long upper shadow candle, bouncing off that support zone. If this continues, we will see the crypto market start to pull back. Our RSI is starting to weaken. Momentum is still in the bearish territory. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory. If our VWAP can maintain in the bullish territory, that would be positive for us. But if that VWAP rounds away, that big yellow wave, then we are likely going to gain more bearish momentum. We will see that momentum fall, and then that money flow will break bearish, and then we could still see a break of support. However, we do look positive if we can sustain bullish momentum. On the 1 hour, VWAP is testing that neutral, the yellow wave. Real quick, this is on our Market Cipher B. So if you are not familiar with Market Cipher B, add it. Visit our Mastering the Trade series. We have 2 videos that cover RSI and stochastic. Then the one after that will cover the rest of this indicator. In the first video, we'll show you how to set it up so it looks like mine. Stochastic is overall falling. We do have bearish strength on that stochastic. Price action is meeting a consistent high, and we could get rejected. We are consolidating here. If we continue to consolidate, we could make a bull flag. That bull flag could try to push us forward. You use your parallel channel, drop that down. Then your flag is from your top to your bottom. You apply that to your top up, and that would give us a breakup point of 104,688. So we could see a little bit of a decent run from that, but nothing too exciting. That would be pending that VWAP staying bullish, because that would need to keep that momentum bullish and that money flow bullish. If this money flow breaks into the bearish territory, we likely will see Dixie break down, and then the rest of the crypto space will likely increase, because remember, they are inverted. So over on the total, we did hit that gapped area, much like we have been mentioning for the last several days. If you manage to get some sort of a swing on that and you capitalize on that, we were near it 2 days in a row, so don't get greedy. Momentum does want to diverge. Stochastic wants around, RSI is weakening, VWAP wants around, and our money flow is coming down, so we could come back into the pattern and see lower price action. I would want to see where tomorrow's candle goes. If it's a strong green candle, we could confirm and push forward. However, if we get a strong red candle, we will pull back into this channel, and we could still see it play out, and this would be just a big manipulation move for that golden pocket, showing how those golden pockets on our Fibonacci retracement zones do end up being a little bit of a manipulative zone. This could show we could end up getting rejected, pull back under. So again, this is a little bit of an example. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we did have the possibility for a bear flag. We did see half of the breakdown. Looks like we have a lot going on. Actually, we'll jump to the 1 hour so we can clean this up. So over on the 1 hour, we had that double top possibility. We did say we could try to make a flag or invalidate that top. We did try to come down toward where that neckline was approximately. We were not able to sustain a breakdown, so we are going to delete this. It did get invalidated. So hopefully you were watching around there, or you had some sort of an alert around that neckline. But as far as this pattern, we'll straighten it out. We are coming back into this pattern. We did technically break down, so you could try to say that as like a descending channel that we broke up from. So we could have a break up from that channel now that we went sideways, kind of dropped a little. That could help give us some bullish strength. We're going to want to watch where these fixed range volume profile zones are, if I don't make them disappear. So for our value area high, we did try to break it. We do have this red candle, but we're trying to open with a green candle for tomorrow. If we can continue to bounce off this value area high and we can continue with green candles, we could make a new value area. However, if we see red candles, further red candles, we're going to break our value area and then push toward our point of control. So I would watch for that possibility, but remember, you do want to have a plan for both sides. Our stochastic here does want to round. RSI is starting to weaken. Money flow is starting to round away. Momentum is losing strength, and the VWAP is starting to push down. So overall, our dominance does look like it could start to slide if we're not careful. If we hop over to the 1 hour, VWAP does have a strong bullish trend with a strong high. Money flow is remaining bullish as long as that stays true. As long as that money flow can remain bullish and our VWAP continues to favor bullishly here, that yellow wave, then we will continue to push forward. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we did make another gap to the upside. We are trying to come back down. If we can come back down and fill that gap, we could make a bounce. If we come down, fill that gap, and break our value area high, then it's likely we will push to this 56K. So those are kind of the two scenarios you're going to want to watch for. If we can make a bounce after filling the gap or on this support level, we can get another push to that 65K zone. Our stochastic does want to round. RSI is weakening. Our momentum is rounding. That VWAP is starting to pick up some bearish strength. We have lower highs, so if we get lower lows, we could see it further swing down. And momentum does want to round with that VWAP falling, so our money flow is weakening. If that money flow continues to weaken, we could end up with a bearish trend if we're not careful. Over on the 1 hour, VWAP is favoring the bearish territory. Momentum is in the bearish territory. Our money flow is starting to come down. Stochastic is starting to round, and the RSI is weakening as a result. So overall, our VWAP is favoring bearish. If that continues, momentum will continue lower, and that will continue to bring the money flow down, and that would result in us breaking this support zone. We did technically fill this little gap here on the 1 hour, so it is possible, while it's not filled on the daily, that we could get a manipulation push forward since it's filled on the 1 hour, and we could try to continue up. But we could also see a pull back on those higher time frames and fill it there as well. So again, have a plan for both scenarios. Our indicators are leaning a little more bullish, but we are getting rejected by these resistances, so I would exercise caution all the way around. Over on Bitcoin, we attempted to break this resistance of that 63,120, and we started to pull back again, so that's not too positive for us. Our momentum is starting to drop. VWAP wants to break into the bearish territory. If that VWAP breaks bearish, our money flow will start to break down, and then we can see price action start to push lower from here. So I would exercise caution. Over on the 4 hour here, we do look like we're making a rounding top. We did invalidate that double bottom. I'll jump to the 1 hour just to clean that up. We did invalidate that by going sideways and pushing forward. So again, that's why patterns are not 100%. There is no crystal ball in trading. If there was, everyone would be billionaires. But over on the 4 hour, now that that's out of the way, we are rounding overall. RSI is weakening, momentum starting to come down. Stochastic is pushing down. That VWAP is favoring the bearish territory, and the money flow is bullish. But if the VWAP continues to favor bearish, momentum will continue down, and our money flow will start to reverse soon. Over on this 2 hour, we do have some bearish momentum building here, so if we break this blue EMA, we're likely going to push down to that yellow EMA. That's going to be what you want to watch for tonight. If we can push above this blue EMA and break our green EMA, that would be where we would get that push to that resistance area. RSI wants to come down, stochastic is overall coming down, VWAP's favoring bearish, and our money flow is flat. Over on our 1 hour, we do have a bit of a descending triangle that could be going on here. That could end up dropping us down. RSI is overall weakening. money flows overall coming out, momentum's favoring bearish, VWAP is in the bearish territory but is trying to make a bullish trend. If we reject and make a new bearish trend, then we will see those higher time frames start to weaken. Since the VWAP and momentum are bearish, then we will start to see this VWAP start to pull back, that money flow will weaken, and we could get that push down. So I would exercise caution, watch that VWAP closely. If it rejects here, we're likely going to push below these EMA level. Over on graph for the daily, we did attempt to break out of our pattern, and now we're coming back in for tomorrow's candle. If we can confirm back into this pattern, we could invalidate it. However, we could just be stretching out too as well. So there is that possibility. You can take it how you want. I'm going to say we're retesting. Stochastic wants to come down, RSI wants to lose strength, momentum's pushing down, VWAP's favoring the bearish territory, and the money flow does want to come down. So I would watch that VWAP closely. If that VWAP continues to favor bearish, momentum will continue down and money flow will continue to weaken, and that will result in price action dropping off. Over on our 4 hour, our RSI is trying to push up, stochastics overall rounding away, momentum wants to break bearish, VWAP's in the bearish territory, and our money flow is trying to reclaim bullish momentum. If we follow with a strong green candle, we could have a rounding bottom that would push us forward from a long lower shadow candle. However, if we follow this with a red candle, this could be a retest and a rejection, and we could see some further losses, so that's going to be what you want to watch for. Over on the 2 hour, stochastics overall pushing down, RSI is weakening, that VWAP's in the bearish territory, momentum is in the bearish territory, and our money flow is indecisive, so overall, we could see a bit of a push down. That push down again would possibly be to around this 26.56. Over on the 1 hour, you can see we got pushed down to that red EMA. We got bullish engulfing candle. That gave us the strength to push to this channel. Stochastic wants to push up. RSI wants to gain momentum. VWAP's breaking bullish. Momentum's pushing forward, so we are trying to gain some bullish strength. If we can continue this bullish strength, we will see a new bullish trend push us forward. However, if this bullish trend gets rejected here, and we start seeing some red candles and a pullback, we will see some further losses. So exercise caution, manage your risk appropriate. Over on Ankr for the daily, we invalidated this pattern, so I'm going to delete this. We did push through that other resistance area as we saw price action push up. Momentum is starting to round away, stochastics rounding, RSI is starting to weaken, money flow is dropping down, and the VWAP is starting to weaken overall. If our VWAP continues to push down, we could see a rejection from this resistance area, and we would retest our below resistance of that 34.85. Momentum does want to round, RSI is weakening, VWAP's overall pushing down, money flow is starting to weaken, so if the VWAP continues down, momentum will weaken, and money flow will continue down, resulting in price action dropping. We have a long upper shadow candle followed by a red candle. If we see further red candles on a break of this support, we could see further sell-off, try to fill this wick, and possibly see lower price action if we're not careful. Over on our 2 hour, we are starting to round away. Momentum has bearish divergence, RSI is rounding, stochastics rounding, VWAP wants to round, money flow is selling off. So overall, that VWAP does have a bearish trend, it is starting to get weaker, stochastics getting a bearish trend and getting weaker. If that continues, we could see the 2 hour flip into the bearish territory. At that point, we're likely going to see further losses. Over on our 1 hour, momentum is overall divergent, stochastics divergent, RSI is selling off, VWAP wants to break bearish, and the money flow is starting to come down. So the 1 hour looks a little shaky at best. We did get a pretty significant run up, we did retrace it, but I would just exercise some caution here. Over on XRP for the daily, we did get a pretty significant run up to around that 61 now, point of control area. So that was a pretty positive move for us. If anyone capitalized on that, good for you. We did get bounced off the support zone. We could attempt to continue up, but remember, this is a long upper shadow. We have a reversal arrow with a green dot. Usually those don't play too favorably. Stochastic does want to round, momentum wants to round, VWAP is pushing down, money flow is struggling to break bullish, so I would watch lower time frames. If they cannot make a bullish trend, we could see a break down from here. On the 4 hour, stochastic has bearish divergence, momentum has bearish divergence, RSI is selling off, VWAP is breaking down, we have lower highs with consistent lows. If that continues, our money flow is likely going to break into that bearish territory. If that money flow breaks into that bearish territory, we're likely going to see the higher time frame, the 1 day, start to sell off. Over on the 2-hour, momentum is starting to round. We have bearish divergence, stochastics coming down, RSI is losing strength, VWAP has broken into the bearish territory, and we do have lower highs with lower lows, so we do have a bearish trend still that could end up bringing us down if we're not careful, so I would exercise some caution here. This pump up may not be very long-lived. Over on the 1-hour, VWAP is in a bearish trend, stochastics coming down, RSI is weakening, momentum's about to break bearish, and our money flow is remaining bullish, but if the VWAP rejects away from here, our momentum will break into the bearish territory, and that money flow will start to weaken, which would result most likely in a break of the 57 resistance and a push to our 54 support. Or 57 support and 54 support. They're both support resistances above you. Sorry for any confusion there. Over on XRP for the daily, we are consolidating. If we jump to the 1 hour, I want to see if we filled. No, we didn't fill that. Actually, we did fill that down channel. Then we bounced back up, remain back into our flag. So that would have been your opportunity to buy in, jump in the flag. Maybe you rode this, got some profits from that swing. That would have been a nice move. But you could be in some profits still if you bought in somewhere around here. And then you were able to kind of push forward. So you would want to have that trade set up ahead of time. That's why it's important to have your trade set up ahead of time, because if you would have been the one of the few people getting in on the wicks. But back to the daily, now that that's a little easier to read, we are trying to push forward, trying to get an initial break forward from our bull flag. Stochastic wants to push up, RSI is pushing forward, momentum is trying to gain strength, VWAP is pushing down overall, so I would watch the VWAP closely. If it continues to push down, momentum will weaken, and that money flow will flip into a bearish trend. Over on the 4-hour, we do have a pretty freak breakup, so we could call this a rising channel. If I can grab that parallel channel, this could be a rising channel that could end up breaking us down. So despite this bull flag possibility, we do have a new descending channel that could end up breaking technically. So we could see further losses, but I'm just going to delete it and just say exercise caution. That channel could end up pushing us right around that Fibonacci zone. Momentum does want to drop, stochastics coming down, RSI is weakening, VWAP is favoring the bearish territory. If it continues to favor bearish and we see lower lows with lower highs here, momentum will push down and that money flow could flip into a bearish trend, which would weaken the daily. Over on the 2-hour, we have manipulation X. We are seeing a round off. Momentum is starting to sell off as that VWAP favors bearishly. If our VWAP continues to favor bearishly here, momentum will continue to break and that money flow will continue to weaken, which could result in those higher time frames starting to weaken as well. RSI does want to bounce, but with the stochastic dropping off, RSI doesn't look too promising. On the 1-hour, RSI is trying to bounce, stochastic wants to gain some steam, VWAP is trying to break bullish, and our momentum's trying to push forward with our money flow. If our VWAP can reclaim bullish territory and get a new bullish trend, then we could see further price action forward. However, if this VWAP rejects and we get lower lows with lower highs, then we will see the bears gain control and start to push us back down toward that 1618. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.